Coming up on 5 Minute News. Liz Cheney sets sights on stopping Trump after election loss. Suspended Florida prosecutor sues DeSantis over abortion case. And CDC plans to review public health response after COVID failings. It's Thursday, August 18. I'm Anthony Davis. After being soundly rejected by Wyoming Republican voters, U.S. Representative Liz Cheney vowed to spend the next 2 years trying to stop Donald Trump from returning to the White House, possibly with her own anti-Trump presidential bid. Cheney moved quickly on Wednesday to convert her campaign for re-election to the House of Representatives into a new political action committee after losing her nominating primary, and said she was considering whether to launch a 2024 White House campaign. Her Tuesday night defeat was a significant victory for the former president in his campaign to oust Republicans who backed his impeachment after a mob of his supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol in a failed attempt to overturn his election defeat. "I will do whatever it takes to ensure Donald Trump is never again anywhere near the Oval Office, and I mean it," Cheney said in her concession speech after campaigning on her duty to the U.S. Constitution and opposition to Trump's repeated lies about a stolen 2020 election. Trump continues to flirt publicly with the idea of running again in 2024, but has not yet formally declared his candidacy. That has left other Republican White House hopefuls, notably Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and former Vice President Mike Pence, waiting to declare their next moves. Some Republicans said Cheney would not expect to win the party nomination if she ran, but rather would devote her energies to keeping Trump from victory, a role she could play even without a formal candidacy. A Florida state attorney on Wednesday sued Governor Ron DeSantis after he was suspended earlier this month for saying he would not prosecute anyone who sought or provided abortions. In a lawsuit filed in Tallahassee, Florida, federal court prosecutor Andrew Warren said his suspension by DeSantis violated his First Amendment rights as well as Florida's Constitution and demanded to be reinstated. "Today we took action against Ron DeSantis' abuse of power and unlawful suspension," Warren wrote in a Twitter post. Warren is the top prosecutor in Florida's 13th Judicial Circuit in Tampa, an elected position. He was among a group of prosecutors who have pledged not to use their offices to criminalize reproductive health decisions following the U.S. Supreme Court's ruling in June that overturned the constitutional right to an abortion. In suspending the state attorney, DeSantis said Warren cannot pick and choose which laws to enforce based on his personal agenda. The governor has been courting conservatives as part of a potential presidential bid in 2024. Florida law bans abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy. Warren argued in the lawsuit that he was suspended in retaliation for exercising his First Amendment rights. Under the Florida Constitution, state attorneys can pick and choose which cases they pursue, the lawsuit said. A handful of lawsuits have been filed challenging Florida's 15-week ban, including one by a group of abortion providers and others filed by clergy members of 5 religions. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said it will prioritize its public health response in a revamp of its structure after months of criticism over its handling of the COVID-19 and monkeypox pandemics. A briefing document provided by the agency yesterday said an external report into its response found public guidance had caused confusion, while important information was sometimes released too late to inform federal decisions. CDC Director Rochelle Walensky said in response the agency was undertaking a series of changes designed to make it more nimble at responding, quicker at providing data, and less focused on publishing fully vetted scientific papers. For 75 years, CDC and public health have been preparing for COVID-19, and in our big moment, "Our performance did not reliably meet expectations," Walensky told CDC staff. According to a background briefing document, plans to modernize the agency include giving the CDC new authority to require states to report data and changes that will allow the CDC to hire staff more quickly and offer more competitive salaries. Both actions will require authorization from Congress. As part of the changes, the CDC will name Mary Wakefield, former acting Deputy Secretary of the Department of Health and Human Services in the Obama administration, to lead a team to help implement the restructuring, the agency said. The steps follow the external review ordered by Walensky in April of its handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. To encourage faster communication, Walensky wants to create an online mechanism to share findings before they are completely published and expedite the data review process. You can subscribe to 5 Minute News on YouTube with your preferred podcast app. Ask your smart speaker or enable 5 Minute News as your Amazon Alexa flash briefing skill. Subscribe, rate and review online at 5minute.news. 5 Minute News is an Evergreen podcast covering politics, inequality, health and climate, delivering independent, unbiased and essential world news daily.